So this man that I'm talking about, he spoke in language that he called mathematical theology. This is written in the lessons by him. This can be proven. So I know there's a lot of doubting Thomases in here, and a lot of those who want to keep to their old way of thinking. But if you're here, then understand this, that I love you just the way you are. You don't have to change a bit. I love you just the way you are. Because I know even though you hold those old original ideas, you are good people, you have good hearts, you mean well, you live good lives, and I love you. I love you very much. But I wish you would accept freedom. Freedom is here now. Yeah. And he promised freedom, justice, and equality. That's what he promised. Freedom, justice, and equality. That's what he said Islam was. And it used to be written on the blackboard, painted on the blackboard, so you couldn't erase it all. And it had the American flag on one side and the Nation of Islam flag on the other side. And between the two flags, it had the bad treatment that we were getting back there. A black man hanging from a noose, from a rope, on a tree, from a tree limb. And the letters on the national flag, the Nation of Islam flag, were F-J-E. And on the staff of the flag was I. And the letter I stood for Islam. And that was to say to us that in Islam, you are promised freedom, justice, and equality. And I remember the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in the earlier days when I was a preteen and a teenager, and even a little after that. Whenever you walked into the temple door, you opened the temple door, the first thing you would see, if the speaker wasn't speaking, would be that blackboard with that picture on it, saying what I just gave to you. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad would hardly ever miss saying on Sundays when he gave his speeches, his talk, his message, he wouldn't hardly ever miss saying that Islam is freedom, justice, and equality. That went into me as a boy and as a teenager. It went into me. And I knew, I was shown pictures of our people, actual lynchings that were still, my father saved the old papers. He saved the old papers that showed actual lynchings of our people. We're hanging from a tree. One picture I remember seeing looked like to me was at least 5. It might have been as many as 7 or 8 black men hanging from trees where they lynched them in a group. They lynched a number of them, not one person. And they were hanging in a group. I remember him giving me a picture. I don't like to tell you about it. I don't like to look at it. I don't like to think about it. But I have to tell you because what I'm going to bring before you, it helped my delivery, to make the delivery clear to you, to tell you this. Then you see how I was affected as a child. Yeah, they had one picture of a black man hung on a tree, and firewood had been put up under him, and the flames were burning him from foot up, burning him from the feet up. A child doesn't forget things like that, okay? So my parents made sure that I knew the bad treatment that our people got under white supremacist rule. They wanted to make sure I know that, and they made sure I knew it. And now, here's a child, knowing how bad his people are treated by the ruling people, the whites. And he hears that Islam is freedom, justice, and equality. What do you think he's going to remember? That Islam is a verse from the Quran? Or that Islam is the religion of the Muslims of the world? Or that Islam's prophet is Mohammed, the prophet? You think he's going to remember that? No. He's going to remember that Islam is freedom, justice, and equality. And it goes into the child so deeply and makes such a strong and erasable imprint, unremovable imprint, that it lives with that child until death. I will live with that until death. Islam will always mean more to me as freedom, justice, and equality than it means to me as anything else.